Hi, in this video I'm going to quickly show you how you can set up a Australian VPN. I should warn you at this point that I use a security product which is on a subscription basis. So it does cost some money, I'm afraid. I don't think there are any free Australian VPNs. There aren't very many free VPNs anyway because they cost quite a lot of money to run, but Australia bandwidth is particularly expensive, so it would cost an awful lot of money to run a free one. So anyway, this is another method. This is the paid method, which I'll demonstrate for you now. Now, why would anybody want an Australian VPN? Well, basically if you're trying to access content within Australia from outside Australia, you'll find a lot of them get blocked. ABC's iView application won't work unless you're in Australia. Let me just show you what happens. This is ABC's iView. It's really good, iView. It's kind of like BBC iPlayer, but with different channels, obviously. It's got some really good sites, and they put quite a lot of stuff up there. But that's what happens if I try and access it. I don't know if you can see. Basically, it's looked up my IP address and said, you can't watch ABC iView because it can only be in Australia. So what can we do about it? Well, basically, it's looked up my IP address. What I've got to do is use an Australian VPN, that's a virtual private network, which will hide my real location. And I'm going to show you the one I use. As I say, it's a paid service. There's a few with Australian VPNs, not many of these services. Again, due to the expense, some charge extra for Australia. I'm just showing you this one because it's all inclusive. Basically, get all the countries included, and it's pretty fast. Australia, accessing any sites in Australia, depending on your location, can be a bit hit or miss. But we'll see how we go here. Right, you can see there's all the countries that I can access, and I just have to select an Australian one. And that will make a active connection to an Australian VPN server. There's 2 or 3, a few more than that up there. Just pick the fastest one, and that means I now effectively have an Australian IP address, and I'll demonstrate that for you now. So I'll minimize that. I'll open a browser, and what we'll do is we'll go to the iView site again, which is here. And remember, before, because I'm based in the UK, I was blocked access because I had a UK IP address. Now, iView will just see my Australian VPN server's address. So this should work. Oop, goes to full screen. And here it runs. And you can see they're showing the adverts now, and iView work perfectly. The Identity Cloaker one works pretty fast. You might get some buffering during the beginning, but once it's buffered most of it, it works pretty well. It works with all the Australian sites that I'm aware of. You used to be able to just use a simple proxy server, which you could find for free, but none of those tend to work anymore. The only site that does work with a proxy still, a UK proxy, is BBC iPlayer, but most of the big media sites have come under pressure from the program's licensing, and they now need a VPN. No sites block VPNs that I'm aware of. So that's basically it. As you can see, that's works perfectly there, and you can watch as much as you want on iView. It's worth remembering to disconnect the VPN after you've finished, and if you're using just for security, so you want the encryption running, use the closest server to you, so it's much quicker. Okay, well, I'm going to finish now.